Alright, so we're back with another Elite Blastapopoulos event. We have a brand new Blastapopoulos, guys. We haven't seen this guy in a very long time, and here are the modifiers. Actually, only one. The boss health is at 200%, so this is going to be a double HP Blastapopoulos. I'm not exactly sure what the end number is going to be on its HP, but it's not going to be a small number, let me tell you that. Now, there are no tower limitations. We can pick wherever hero we want, so that's why we're going to start with Benji. I'm going to have him over here on the side, and actually, this map is kind of wonky when it comes to defending, I think. Well, yes, in terms of defending, it's not going to be as wonky, but in terms of farming, which is then going to have an impact of defending, yeah, for sure, because the only free space that we have for farming is like this free space up top, which can host, I think, honestly, not more than 10 farms, guys. I don't think you're going past that number, and if you want to put a village, it's going to become a little more complicated. So you guys can see how this boss event can become a little bit tricky, because they gave you double HP, but you cannot exactly farm as much as you would like to in this boss event. So here's how we're going to start things off. I'm going to be doing the marketplaces probably. Not sure if we want to IMF farm today. I think we can probably get away by not doing that, actually. So let me start things off by buying a boat. I'm going to have the boat, actually I'm going to have it right here in the middle, and when we buy the longer range, you should be able to pop the balloons from the leftmost and the rightmost track. So we're going to go for farm number 3 like this. And actually, if you guys don't know how this map works, obviously all of these colors mean that only a certain category of towers can be placed on that specific tile, but every single one of these tiles has some sort of a bonus for that specific tower category. So for example, this one is Jungle Jumps buff for all your primary towers. This one is extra pops. This is +1 damage for all your magic towers. And you guys can see how this is going to make the defense, at least versus the small balloons, a little bit easier. Although I want to try and use this somehow for the boss if possible. I'm going to buy the Grape Shot on this one. We're already starting to see some benefits because this is a discount tile actually. So Grape Shot only $495. I'm going to buy that thing. I'm actually going to get the longer range as well. So we start targeting the balloons like this on the left side. And then up top, I'm going to go for a discount village and a couple of marketplaces as we usually do. So I'm going to see you guys in the second for the boss, I think. And actually, while we're at it, let's go like this. By the way, buy an alchemist. This is a magic tile, but this is going to unlock very late because it has the number 19. Not exactly sure when that's going to happen, but we cannot afford to wait as long. So let's go like this. Let me buy first off the lead to gold because we're going to have some lead balloons on 28, and then we're going to go into the rubber to gold as soon as possible. All right, guys, as we're getting closer to the boss, we need to do a couple of things. So first off, the top side, as you guys can see, like a million marketplaces so far. We got the rubber to gold alchemist and also bought this guy into the merchant one, which is going to become my favorite traits in a second. And now the way that I want to defeat the first tier of boss is going to be through using the elite defender. There's a very cool tile which is number 8 over here, which is going to give us +1 damage. Now the elite defender does have a lot of damage by himself, but a little extra damage is going to be very nice. So let's start things off with the full auto. We are actually not going to have the money immediately, but we should have it after like a couple of rounds. Oh, that's 86,000 HP. Oh my god, these bosses are going to be super beefy, huh? Alright, so during this round we should have enough money to buy the elite defender. We're probably not going to be upgrading to the favorite trades boat yet because this guy actually gains extra attack speed and he's probably going to be able to defend the small balloons by himself. And we actually don't want to defend the small balloons. We want to have some leaks so that we can proc the passive ability of the elite defender. I know that this is like thinking a lot in the future, but I'm actually looking for that to happen so we can get a little bit of extra damage. So there we go. We get the elite defender. Now this is going to be an alchemist actually, and we're going to have our first leaks. Look at this thing, some camel balloons. So as soon as these guys go, boom, some extra attack speed. Now look at this HP just trying to get melted on this boss. Alright, that's a lot of balloons actually. Now that I look at these guys, let me just switch to first for a second and let's go to strong. I think if we can leak some of these guys, that's gonna be amazing. Oh, this dark monkey, oh please don't pop them. You know what, I'm gonna sell the dark monkey so that these 3 red balloons can leak and we get extra attack speed. Let's do it. Boom, we do get it right on time. That's amazing. Alright, so 2 skulls left. This is actually going fine, honestly. With the elite defender, given that this is double HP, this guy is doing a tremendous amount of work so far. Let's not forget to keep farming, so I'm just buying a couple of central markets. Eventually we're going for probably, I was thinking at least the banana central into, oh wait a minute, there's a lot of balloons in the back. Hold that thought actually. Let's just buy up this crossbow. I mean, we want to leak, but we don't want to leak this many balloons. I don't think. Oh, that's a lot of leaks. So 154 lives. I think we're gonna stop there actually. All right, that's amazing. That's round 49. So for a double HP boss, I'm absolutely fine with this thing. And we're gonna sell the elite defender, put all the money into these central markets, which we're gonna go into a banana central as soon as we have the money. Yeah, there we go. So we clean out the tier 1, actually no problems. I'm very happy with how this elite defender on the +1 damage tile, by the way, he's performing very well so far. So let's get this guy up to favorite traits and then sell both the sniper and the alchemist. And I think the money is about right so that we can sell all of these farms that we have, and I think we should have 137k. That is probably more than enough for a banana essential. Let's just check. Oh, just about there with the cash. Actually, we're gonna have it right now. Yeah, there we go. So we get the banana essential. I'm gonna go for an NG, so we overclock this guy. It's obviously in the range of a Monkey City Village. And actually, the next thing that I want to do is I'm gonna buy a bunch of BRFs, and I'm gonna make this thing into a Monkeyopolis so that we can free up some space and keep making money like that. I'm also gonna be efficient with the NG purchase, so this is a discount support tile. There we go. Buy the overclock for $12,000. So the overclock to a tech bond, and yeah, it's just gonna be buying BRFs from this point onwards. I was actually thinking of getting the Megalodon for this one in this specific, I guess, warrior spot where the favorite traits boat is, and we're actually gonna get some sellback value after it in case we fit all 4 of these orcas that is. So I want to fit them over here. This is, by the way, an attack speed tile, and attack speed is gonna be really nice for our Megalodon. So let's try and buy all 4 of these guys like this if possible. All right, so the money is about there. We merged everyone up, so we have enough money for the Megalodon. This guy is not gonna be the most powerful one, and honestly, just because this is only the tier 2 boss, I don't think we're actually looking to merge this guy up any further. So let's send him on strong. I see a lot of small balloons, by the way, and hopefully these small balloons are not an issue for us. By the way, we need some camo detection, so I'm just gonna place the sub over here as a D camo, and hopefully the Megalodon is gonna be able to pick up all of these other guys as well. You guys know what I was thinking? Maybe we keep this guy on the field, we merge him up, we overclock him, and maybe he's gonna be able to beat the tier 3 by himself. Is that a little bit too ambitious? Alright, so as this Megalodon is destroying the boss, let me just keep buying a couple of farms on the side. I want to overclock this Monkey City Village before we make it into a Monkeyopolis, actually, so they can increase its range. I want to get all these farms on the side as well. So at this point, I'm just trying to be, efficient, because again, there's not a lot of farming space on this map in general. So let's see if we can make that thing happen. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, this one is not in range. So I guess we're just gonna take the 5 farm Monkeyopolis. Let's buy it. And how's the boss looking, by the way? We have about 2.5 skulls left. Let's actually, because we have a free overclock now, I think that we should probably be overclocking the Megalodon, and this guy should speed up, yeah, significantly at this point. We also have like a free spot here for a farm, and this, guys, is the absolute perfect spot for a Wall Street, because he's gonna collect from all of these BRS by itself. So yeah, a little bit of efficiency for sure. And then look at this Megalodon just eating up almost an entire HP bar when it's overclocked. That's amazing. But there goes the tier 2. We are 100% gonna be keeping the Megalodon on screen, because I do want to try and defeat the tier 3 with this guy as well. We're gonna merge it up and everything. So let me place a couple more farms, and I'm gonna see you guys in a second for the tier 3. Alright, so things are going to get a lot more difficult now with this tier 3 in comparison to tier 2, and that's why I wanted to do a couple of things. Number one, I completely forgot to buy this thing, but this big trap now makes a ridiculous amount of money as well, so I bought this one as well just as another farming tool. I was only able to fit, by the way, 2 more beast handlers, which means that our Megalodon is not going to be at full beast power, but that's completely fine. We're going to end up at 116 out of 132. Then we do have a free overclock in case we do need it, but oh, this guy has 3.5 million HP. Oh, yikes. That's a lot of HP, guys. Alright, I mean, hoping for the best at this point. Honestly, in case we need to get some more damage, we probably could. Actually, one of the things I wanted to do is probably get something like this. Start with a Spectre, probably, just so we get some pops going onto our ace for the ace paragon later. And then let's see how much damage does the Megalodon actually do, and if this is gonna be enough. Now, is this guy overclocked? No, he's not. Okay, so let's overclock him and let's just watch the HP. It is not going slow for sure, but it's not going as fast as it could. Can we actually speed this thing up a little bit? Maybe if we buy something like a super bill. How much of an impact is a super bill gonna have? Let's have it like this onto this jungle jump style. Let's also buy a cripple mob sniper so that we get a little bit more extra damage amplification. I guess I'm gonna set this guy to strong as well. Actually, you know what? We can speed this thing up a little bit just by buying something like, let's get the call to arms. Let's not spend that much money with the homeland. The money situation is not as good as it can be for sure, because again, we're only running like a handful of farms. This is just the way that this map goes. Alright, so let's use the call to arms ability right now as soon as the Megalodon starts attacking, because we're gonna proc a skull onto the next one, so might as well get all the damage out of the way right now. Let's use the overclock, let's use the call to arms, and now look at this damage. Oh yes. Now, okay, so now it's about I want to say a third of an HP bar per latch, and that's pretty good, I think. Absolutely insane tower. Let's just overclock, use the call to arms, and I think, well, we need to get the job done actually kind of fast now that I'm looking at where the boss is, because he is gonna escape the range of the Megalodon soonish. So, oh, hopefully these rocks don't block the vision. I think they don't. Okay, that's fine. Alright. Yeah, this can get a little bit risky at the end if you don't have enough damage. So I'm kind of glad that we got the call to arms. Let's just use it one more time, and that should be one more latch, I think. Yes, there we go. That is about it with the tier 3. Guys, this is the range of the Megalodon, and it was definitely kind of close. I mean, I think we popped it around here with the sniper is. Yeah, definitely on the riskier side, this one. But let's think about what we want to do for the tier 4, and I'm going to see you guys in a second before that thing comes out. Alright, so for the tier 4, here's what I decided on. I think we're going to get the Dart Paragon. We're going to put a lot of money into this guy just because the boss is like double HP. So I bought the tier 5s onto this discount tile, and actually it does not help you in getting just like a cheaper Paragon if you have your tier 5s onto a discount tile. It's the exact same price. So that's how we're going to have the Paragon like this. Oh my god, 14 million. That is, that's almost as much as some tier 5 bosses have. So yeah, we're going to put all the money possible into this guy, I think. Actually, let's scale it down a little bit. Let's do something like 250 so we have some left over for the Ace Paragon later. I think the Dart Paragon is going to be super fine because what Blastapopoulos does is he releases these rocks and it creates kind of a circle around them. So these Juggernaut projectiles are going to be bouncing within those rocks. They're going to do a lot more damage. I also kept the Megalodon as well. So as soon as this guy starts attacking, I'm going to overclock him and use the call to arms. I also kept these damage amplification towers, the Super Brill and the Sniper, and this Dart Paragon is going crazy, guys. He's attacking so fast. Look at all those Juggernaut balls. Alright, so we're going to proc a skull. So let's wait for this thing to beat because it's going to proc the heat bar. I'm actually going to wait a second and then we're going to overclock and use the call to arms onto the Megalodon. Alright, so the boss cooldown, this is the green light for us to use the call to arms. I'm going to use the overclock with the Megalodon, and this combo of these two guys should be more than enough to take down the tier 4. I think we've gotten so used to like these crazy bosses with like 2000 speed or whatever it was, like the 500% speed that we had a couple of weeks ago, that whenever you see like 200% of the HP, you're like, that's nothing. We've been so desensitized to these bosses, but this one can actually become tricky for you just because of the lack of farming potential on this specific map, right? So that's why I kind of opted for the Megalodon for the early tiers, and that's another reason why I went for the Dart Paragon actually, because it's kind of a cheap one, but it does work versus Blastapopoulos in general. So yeah, these guys are gonna take it down, but take a look at the round, guys. 114. It's taken us 14 rounds to beat this thing. That's a very long time, by the way. There we go. We defeat the tier 4, and then finally for the tier 5, we're gonna go for the Ace Paragon. We're gonna try and make it as strong as possible. So I'm gonna see you guys in a second for that one. And as round 119 is ending, we're gonna enter the next round with about $2.3 million, it seems like. So let me start selling off these farms, and when everything's done and dusted, it seems like we're gonna end up with $2.8 million in total. And because we have all the damage amplification towers, we can put all our money into the Goliath. Let me actually buy the Homeland, by the way, for the Megalodon, and I think we're ready to go. So let's put all the money. Let's see what's the degree we're gonna get. Hopefully it's a good one. That is a 57. I think we're happy with a 57. I'm gonna put this guy to Wing Monkey. Let's try and use this ability as much as possible because Blastapopoulos does mess with your cooldowns, and let's see if we can beat this guy. Oh, come on, that's a 70 million HP boss. I mean, if you combine all the previous ones, we're looking at close to like 90 million in total, right? Yeah, this is a beefy boss for sure. So let's get this thing going as fast as possible. So we're just gonna be dumping all these abilities. I don't want to take a risk, especially because if the boss makes it too far down the track, some of our towers are not gonna be able to attack, like the Megalodon and the Dart Paragon. Alright, I mean, the other towers just started attacking, and this Goliath it's just the Goliath that took it this far down with the HP. Let's use the this is a mess on screen, by the way. I just used the Goliath ability. Oh, we need to take the FX down a little bit, I think. Yeah, let's take it to like 80%. I think it's gonna be a little bit clearer as to what's happening. Alright, so Dart Paragon attacking, the Megalodon is attacking as well. We're using the Homeland ability. I think I want to just be dumping these abilities as much as possible because again, Blastapopoulos does mess with your cooldown, so you just want to dash out the damage as fast as possible and just get over with it. This is looking good, although it's looking a little bit slow. So I feel like the approach that we had for this specific one, just to get like one super high damage tower, which is going to be the Ace Paragon, and just do some cheap towers for the other tiers, it seems like it's gonna work. It's round 126 and we're almost halfway there, so good progress so far. It is taking a while though, isn't it? I mean, round 130 and 3 skulls left. This is not what you typically see, especially when you have the Paragons that are just this strong, I don't think. I can absolutely see how this can get tricky for some people. I mean, it's just the lack of farm farming, you probably need to do the thing that we did, which is like sacrifice a couple of farms to the Monkeypolis, just be as efficient as possible with that sort of thing. But other than that, in comparison to some other crazy bosses that we've had so far, this one is actually not that bad. Although 70 million for the tier 5 is a little bit ridiculous. But there it is, we get it done tier 5 after what, it's around 133, so this actually took us a while, to be fair, but we do get it done at the end. And that is gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you all in the next one.